Alright, so I'm going to make this gate, and it's actually for the front of our house. Did the fence earlier in the year, and you can see that video on my channel. These are the bolts I'm going to be using. Just picked them up at Home Depot. They're just lag bolts. I'm going to put 2 in each cross member here. I'll countersink them. I have washers to go with these. I'm going to plug them so you don't see them. Now I know that most woodworkers say, Dave, hey, you should mortise that or use dowels or something like that. And if I was doing something that was going to be inside, yeah, that's probably a better idea. But I'm going to use glue, but I just don't think that the glue and mortise is going to hold. Some of you guys might want to comment on that. That's fine. I just saw a guy do this on the internet and decided to go ahead and use this this method of building this gate. I did an arbor, and I don't have a lot of video on the arbor. I'll show it. All right, so here's the arbor over where the gate's going. I built this fence last summer. Didn't finish the arbor. You can see it. I like the way it looks. I'm not sure if this comes out on video, but I'm just marking these boards as to where the cross member is going to go, and I'm just squaring across to where I already have marks. I'm marking the center of the hole I'm about to drill. I'm going to go about 3/4 in. That would put me right at the halfway point. It's been raining off and on all day, and so it's hard to get anything done as far as being outside. Okay, so I pre-drilled these on my drill press, and I've got my countersink, and then I went ahead and drilled that hole straight. Because the problem is that a lot of times when you try to drill these, by sight, I mean, your drill bit just has to be off a little bit, and then you're drilling a hole that is way too low. And I can show you that this hole is centered, and then this hole is not centered, it's down lower. That one I did by sight, and when you're putting in a lag bolt like that, it really can cause a lot of havoc on the board, split it, whatnot. So you want to make sure you're dead center. So drilling both of those holes on the drill press ensures that you're going to go dead center. I'm going to go ahead and put this lag bolt in this piece right here, and just to show you guys, testers because this is not going, and it's not tightening it up at all. So let's see what the deal is here. Looks like I may have stripped it out. That's probably what happened. Trying to make it easier on us. Let's try it this way without a pilot hole on the side. That really didn't get it tight at all. Looks like we went in the same hole. So I'm gonna mark it. It's hot. So I'm going to try to get this to go in there as straight as I possibly can. Alright, try this again. That bolt got really hot, burned my fingers. So I'm just going to mark it. Then drill it. Looks like it was a little bit too high, so maybe let's use a smaller pilot hole so we get it center. Again, I'm just sighting it so that I know that it's going straight. Okay. Let's see if that gets it where I need it to go. There we go. Looks right. So don't tighten this so much so that you strip it, because then it's not drawing it in. So you just got to tap it, watch the washer, make sure that the washer starts to move with the bolt. And that'll make sure that you're getting this tight. Now I'm going to put glue on the other ones to make sure that those are right. But I got to drill those on the drill press, and I don't want to show you all that stuff. You guys all know how to use a drill press, so I'm going to drill those and then I'll come back to this. All right. As you can tell, I have my countersinks and pre-drilled holes for the light bolts. I want to keep this from moving so that I could start a hole on the cross member here and then finish drilling that hole. So in order to clamp these down, this is my solution. And again, it's not typically the best thing in the world, but it works. And that's the main thing. I don't want to so this does not move anymore, so it stays put. Then I can use the drill to go through my holes that I drilled on the drill press, and then use this drill to start some holes on the cross window. And once I get those drilled, then I can go ahead and finish that hole and not worry about where it's starting. As you can tell, I got some pretty good holes that I have started to ensure that I'm going to go straight. Now, the key thing here is that I can't allow these holes to go crooked in any way, or when I start to do my lag bolt, it's going to move this back and forth. So I'm just going to drill them from this point, and I'm sighting down this edge of the drill to try to keep it as level as possible. I'm going to sight it, and I'm looking at angles on the table. There you go. I'll go ahead and clamp this down the same way that I did before, just so that I don't get any movement. Just to be safe, I'm going to finish this with a ratchet because I don't want it to strip it. That worked out pretty well. It's pretty straight, but I get this crack in here. I just have to fill that with putty. That means that I need a bigger hole on there. Alright, so I need a bigger hole here. So we'll do that on this next one. And we're gonna make that work on there. Let's see. I'm disappointed in that crack, but to make it work. have the same issue with it cracking. And I guess the whole purpose of these videos is, in some ways, if I make a mistake, all of us can learn from it. And I told someone the other day that I read an article once on the 3M company, and I guess if I remember correctly, the article stated that they have a cannon in the courtyard, and any time that someone has an idea that just doesn't work out, well, they fire off that cannon, because that's a way of applauding, in a sense, failure. Because when something doesn't work out, that's a move in the positive direction, even if it was something that, people would consider a failure. For them, it wasn't considered a failure because something positive came from it. And my failures should lead to someone else's successes, I guess, because they're able to learn from what I did wrong. And that's the idea, right? You learn, and if I build one of these for a client, then I'm not going to make that same mistake. And that's the whole purpose, right? So that seems to be working out pretty well, and I won't bore you with showing you all of them being done. I'll get these two done, and I'll finish the gate, and I'll show you what I'm going to do for this panel and this panel. And you can actually see this gap going away. So that's going to work out beautifully. All right, I'm going to stop recording and I'll get the next one done. All right. I don't have a plug cutter that'll work on the size I need, so I used this template. I used to use them for drafting, and I still have them around, so I use this template to draw that. I'm going to cut it as close to the line as I can, and then go over to the disc grinder I have and get it right to the line so that it'll fit in the hole. key to this is that I have to do this 12 times in order to cover the lag bolts on this fence. And I suppose, someone might say, like, why go through the hassle? You have your vision in your mind of what something should look like, and you want to stay true to that. Cutting corners or not wanting to finish something because it takes a little bit more time than you figured, it's just not a good thing. You want to make sure that you get your vision done. So I got to cut 12 of those. And I would always tell my students never to be more than 2 inches away from the grinder. This grinder doesn't have the same power as the ones we used to use in school, so I'm relatively safe. It's just a slow process to get it down to the line. So it fits on the hole. You don't want to over sand because then it's going to fit loose. So you want it a little bit tight. I'm trying to get rid of all the white edges that's showing and just leave my pin mark. And that should work perfectly when it comes to fitting inside the countersink I did for my lag bolts. So yeah, I'm spending a little extra time to do this, but I think the end result will be well worth it. And the finished product. See how that does. Alright, so let's see how this works. I'm going to put the pin side in so that I don't have to worry about it sanding. And that's pretty tight, so probably could use just a hair more so that it fits inside, or I could sand that off a little bit. You don't want to do a lot because you want it to fit tight, and just getting it in there on that'll work. So I'll put a little bit of glue in there and then drive it in. One thing that I try to do is match up the grain of the wood so that it matches. So as you put this in, you want to make sure that the grain of the wood is going the same direction, at least close to it. Perfect. I can sand the rest of that down. So that's going to look good when it's done. Again, I got to do that 12 times, so here we go. So here's the gate installed. I still have to put latches on it, but that's the gist of it there. I think it looks great. Eventually that open space, I hope to put stained glass in there, but I wanted to finish this video. I'll do a video with me installing the stained glass probably soon, but there it is. I got self-closing hinges, so it closes right up. Those are the plugs. I put a oil-based finish on it. I'll spray the top with a water seal so as we get a couple days of sunshine. There you go. Pretty much done.